A very good noon to one and all. So, in this lecture, we will be discussing about the Taylor's principles of gauge design, and also we will be discussing about the gauge tolerances, wear allowances provided on the gauges. Okay. So, first of all, now we will start the Taylor's principle of gauging. So, Taylor has given some principles which are useful while designing the gauges. So the first principle is a go gauge will have to check all the dimensions of the workpiece in the maximum metal condition. It's indicating the presence of the greatest amount of material permitted at a prescribed surface. So it should check the size of the component, also the geometrical shape. So whereas uh, no go gauge no go gauges will have to check only one dimension of the workpiece at a time for the minimum metal conditions, indicating the presence of least amount of material permitted at a prescribed surface. So in case of hole, the maximum metal condition is obtained when the hole is machined to the lower limit of size, and minimum metal condition results when the hole is made to the high limit of hole. So in case of shaft, the limits taken would be inverse of the hole. Okay. Now we know that in the case of manufacture, the machining of the components to the exact size will not be possible. It will be very difficult and it will be very expensive. So, to achieve the economy and to meet the functioning, some manufacturing tolerances are provided on the work parts. So, similarly, in the gauges, some tolerances are provided. So, gauges like any other workpieces need manufacturing tolerances like any other engineering components, wherein some manufacturing tolerances are provided to achieve the economical production. So in case of gauges, also some tolerance is provided, which is also known as a gauge maker's tolerances. And it is always very expensive to produce the gauges exactly to the maximum and minimum metal limit workpieces as suggested by the gauge designer. So in order to achieve the economy, some modification is allowed for reasonable imperfection in the workmanships of the gauge maker. So this tolerance on gauges provided is called gauge maker's tolerances. Okay, gauge maker's tolerances. Now this is the American gauge design standard. They specify different classes of tolerances. These for plug and ring gauges only. So different classes of tolerances are XX tolerance, X class, Y class, Z class, ZZ class is applicable only for ground rings, only ring gauges only. And XX, they are very precise lapped gauges and they are used as a masters. And these X and Y, they are used as a inspection gauges, and Z for the normal working gauges. Now this table shows that for a particular size, that is 0.029 inch, all the values are in inches. For 0.029 inch to the 0.825 inch, what is the tolerance that is allowed? So if the gauge is XX class, then the tolerance that is allowed is 0.00002, and if it is X class tolerance, then double of this value is, that is 0.00004, and for Y class it is 0.00007 inches, and for Z class 0. 0.0001 inches, and for ZZ it is 0.0002. So similarly, for other range of sizes, the tolerance values are mentioned here. Now we will take a simple example to show how the tolerance class can be selected. So let us assume that we have a hole to be gauged with the size, basic size 1.25 inch, plus or minus 0.006 inch. That is the tolerance that is provided on the hole. So the work tolerance or tolerances spread will be equal to double of this value, that is 0.0012 inch, and in that case the hole size varies from maximum size will be 1.2506 inch and minimum size will be 1.25 minus 0.0006 inch, that is 1.2494 inch. Now the gauge tolerance, which is normally taken as 10% of the work tolerance. So in this case the work tolerance is 0.0012 inch. So 10% of this will be 0.00012 inch. So if this is the case, from the table we can see for this particular hole and for this gauge tolerance, so the nominal size is 1.25 and it falls in this range, and the tolerance spread is 0.00012 inch. So the Z class tolerance is selected. So Z class tolerance zone is selected. Now the go gauge size will be equal to now the lower size of the hole. So go gauge is made to check the lower size of the hole, that is lower size of the hole is 1.2494 inch plus this the gauge tolerance is to be added, that is 0.00006 inch. Okay, so that is 10% of this work tolerance. So that is go gauge size will be 1.2494 plus or minus 0.00006 inch. For no go, the maximum size of the hole is 1.2506 plus or minus the gauge tolerance, that is 0.00006 inch. So like this we have to select the tolerance class, and then we have to design the go side and no go side of the either plug gauge or ring gauge. Now let us try to understand what is the meaning of wear allowance. Now we in the previous classes we have discussed about the uses of gauges, plug gauges, ring gauges, etc., and we understood that limit gauges that come in contact with the work pieces. For example, a hole to be checked, so we are going to say that double-ended go no go gauge. So no go size will be bigger now. So this go end will enter into this, and there will be contact between the surface gauge surface and the work surface. So there will be always wear occurring on the gauging surfaces. Now in order to prolong the service life of the gauges, wear allowance is added in the direction opposite to the wear. That means when we use this gauge, due to the continuous usage of the gauge, the diameter of the go plug gauge will reducing that. That means the direction of wear will be in this direction. Okay, so and if a snap gauge is used, okay, it is used to check the diameters, and there will be the wear of this. So wear direction will be in the opposite direction, in this direction opposite to this particular direction. So in order to increase the service life of the gauges, we have to allow some wear allowance in the direction opposite to the wear direction. See, the wear is occurring in this direction, so we have to add wear allowance in the opposite direction. So in case of snap gauges, wear is occurring in the particular direction. Okay, so wear allowance is given in the opposite direction, so that is this is the hole and the work tolerance for the hole, and upper limit of the hole and the lower limit of hole. And now go gauge is designed to the lower limit of hole. Now since the wear is occurring in the gauges, we have to allow wear allowance in the opposite direction. Okay, so in this we are clearly understand what is the uh, allowances, wear allowance. So gauge tolerance, what is the gauge tolerance means, so in a practice gauges cannot be manufactured to exact sizes. So the closer the limits are held, the more expensive the gauge is, and also some variations in size cannot be eliminated due to the imperfections in the process, skill in the skill of worker or etc. So some allowance must therefore be provided to gauge maker for manufacturing the gauges. Okay, so this is called a gauge maker's tolerances or gauge tolerance. So logically, the gauge tolerance should be kept as small as possible, but this will be increase in the cost of manufacturing the gauges. So there is no universally accepted policy for the amount of gauge tolerance. So limit gauges are usually provided with a gauge tolerance of 1 by 10th of work tolerance. Okay, so the amount of tolerance on the inspection gauges is generally 5% of the work tolerance, and that on the reference or master gauge is generally 10% of the gauge tolerance. Now coming to the disposition or allocation of the gauge tolerance. So after the magnitude of gauge tolerance is determined, it must then be positioned relative to the work limits, so that it should not and it does not cause the gauge to accept defective work. In the modern limit system, unilateral system of providing tolerance is preferred. So in this system, the gauge tolerance zone lies entirely within the work tolerance zone as shown in this figure. So due to this, the work tolerance zone becomes small by the sum of the gauge tolerance. So, but this ensures that every component passed by such gauge will be within the work tolerance zone. For example, if the size of the hole to be checked to be 50 plus or minus 0.02, then higher limit of the hole is 50.02 mm, and lower limit of the hole is 49.98 mm, and work tolerance is 0.04 mm tolerance. So therefore gauge tolerance equal to 10% of the work tolerance, that equal to 0.004 mm. So dimensions of go plug gauge, so 49.98 plus 0.04 minus 0.00. So dimensions of no plug gauge, 50 plus 50.02 plus 0.00 minus 0.004. So observe this. So this is the go plug gauge dimensions and no go plug gauge dimensions. So first of all, in the basic sizes of go plug gauge 49, that means high limit of hole, lower limit of hole, lower limit of hole is a go plug gauge. Upper limit 50.02 is no go plug gauge. So 0 is a common and 0.04 is a inverse. and wear allowance. So the measuring surface of go gauges rub constantly against the surface of the workpieces during the checking. So this results in wearing of the measuring surfaces of gauges. Okay, the go gauge thus loses its initial size. The size of the go plug gauge is reduced due to wear, and that of ring or snap gauge is increased. Hence, a wear allowance is provided to the gauges in the direction opposite to that of the wear. So I hope everyone understand this wear allowance concept. So wear allowance is usually taken as 50% of the work tolerance. So wear allowance is applied to normal go gauge diameter before the gauge tolerance is applied. So according to the British standards, wear allowance is provided when the work tolerance is greater than 0.09 mm. Okay, so take some same example. Here wear allowance equal to, so 50% of work tolerance, that means 50 into 50 by 100 into 0.004, so 0.04. So work tolerance 0.04, so that equal to 0.002 mm. So nominal size of go plug gauge is 49.98 plus 0.02, and therefore dimensions of go plug gauge is 49.98 to minus 0.00 plus 0.02. Okay, so this is the clear cut information about the wear allowance and Taylor's principle of gauge design and gauge tolerance and allocation of gauge tolerances. Okay, so the gauge tolerance is provided inside the work tolerance. Hence wear allowance is also provided inside this consuming same portion of the work tolerance. Now there is some problem with this method used. We are consuming same portion of the work tolerance. The workpiece hole is somewhere here. Actually it is within the work tolerance, so it is acceptable. But since we are consuming same portion of the work tolerance, the go gauge is designed up to this size. So when we try to insert the go gauge into the hole, it is obstructing it. It will not enter. So because the hole is up to the, so the operator will decide to reject that particular piece. So that is the problem with this type of assigning the gauge tolerance and wear relevance. So in this case of inspection gauge, this problem is overcome. So the tolerance is given outside the work tolerance if some pieces are rejected by using the general gauges. So such rejected pieces are sent to the inspector. He will use inspection type of gauges. Okay. And now this go gauge will enter into the hole and it can be accepted. Now similarly for the shaft, this is work tolerance, this shaft tolerance, and the lower limit of shaft and upper limit of shaft is there. To check the shaft, whether we use ring gauges or snap gauges. So the wear will be in the reverse direction, in this direction. So the tolerance and wear allowance is provided in the reverse direction. So wear allowance is given to the opposite direction, in which opposite to the direction in which wear is occurring. And similarly for no go gauge, the tolerance is outside this tolerance of the shaft. Now we have taken some simple example. We have already discussed about this simple example. So finally, um, we describe the necessity of gauge maker's tolerance in the gauge design, and state why and how wear allowances are considered to the gauge design. So in practice, gauges cannot be manufactured to exact size. The closer the tolerance, most expensive the gauge is. And also some variations in size cannot be eliminated due to the imperfections in the process, material or skill of worker. Some allowance must therefore be given to the gauge maker for manufacturing gauges. So this is known as a gauge maker's tolerance or gauge allowance. Logically, the gauge tolerance should be kept as small as possible, but this will increase the cost of manufacturing. So the limit gauges are generally provided with gauge allowance of 1 by 10th of work tolerance. So as soon as the gauge is put into the service, its measuring surface rub constantly against the surface of the workpiece. This results in wearing of measuring surface of gauge. So the gauge loses its initial dimensions. The size of go plug gauge is reduced and that of ring or snap gauge is increased. Here, a wear allowance is provided to the gauges in direction opposite to that of wear. In case of go plug gauge, wear allowance is added, while in ring gauge it is subtracted. So that's why and how wear allowances are considered to the gauge design. So in problems are also given in the previous papers. So as like in the unit 1. So but the one thing is in the unit 1 we are calculating the tolerances. Those tolerances are considered as a work tolerances, but here we are going to consider wear limits of no go gauge, go gauge. Okay, and the allowances, wear allowance. So as like the same problem in the unit 1, so these problems are also should practice in unit 2 also. So I hope everyone understand these concepts. In our unit 2 we have a different measurements are there, linear measurements and angular measurements are there, and what are different instruments, how they are working, we have discussed earlier, and different gauges are there, gauges and gauge design. So in this lecture we have clearly observed the how we are going to design. So and we have clearly observed the Taylor's principle also. So Taylor's principle of gauge design is very important in this unit. So Taylor's once again, so it states that the 2 points. So first one is go gauges should be designed to check the maximum metal limit, while the no go gauges should be designed to check the minimum metal limit. So go means maximum metal limit, no go minimum. Now the plug gauges are used to check the hole. Therefore, the size of the go plug gauge should correspond to the lower limit of hole, while that of no go gauge, no go plug gauge correspond to the higher limit of the hole. So similarly, GO snap gauge on the other hand correspond to the high limit of shaft, while no go snap gauge correspond to the lower limit of shaft. The difference in size between the go and no go plug gauges, as well as difference in size between go and no go snap gauges, is approximately equal to the tolerance of the tested hole or shaft in case of standard gauges. And second point is go gauges should check all the relative dimensions, that means roundness, size, location, etc. Simultaneously, whereas no go gauge should check only one element of the dimension at a time. So according to this rule, go plug gauge should have a full circular section and be of a full length of the hole it has to check. This ensures that any lack of straightness or roundness of hole will prevent the entry of full length go plug gauge. So if this condition is not fulfilled, the inspection of part with the gauge may give wrong results. Okay, so I hope everyone understand these concepts. So please read well, stay home, stay safe. Thank you. Bye.